Alec, what's poppin'?
That's a really good question.
Well, we
Uh,
just finished Survivor Simulation, dude. We're in full Survivor mode, hours into the
Popping.
process.
My joints are popping sometimes. The frost. There's some frost been happening. So
Popcorn's popping.
popcorn. Yeah, I actually got some
Rubenbacher.
popcorn right here. Yeah, yeah. So,
Um, we're full in Survivor mode, full
oh,
on
absolutely.
strategy mode.
We're good. We're
You,
good to go.
well, we shouldn't talk about the results of
No,
said simulation. You should
no.
check that out.
Yeah, go check out
We
the
did a
simulation. It
whole
was.
Survivor simulation based on characters from things we reviewed in our first year.
It was a lot. It was honestly, it was a lot of fun. I didn't really know exactly what to expect, but I had a really, really good time doing it. And yeah, go throw some support on that. It was we had a lot of fun talking, and I don't know. It was good
And you
stuff.
have to immerse yourself in the Survivor headspace, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And we did a whole Survivor season in a couple hours, so
Yeah,
we're doing it one episode,
yeah. Wow, it's gonna
not
feel so
enough.
slow, right?
Yeah. Okay, so previously on in case you haven't seen this before,
Yes.
I am a big Survivor fan. I've been taking Alec on a journey, watching through the seasons chronologically. I haven't actually seen this season, though I do know the results and stuff, so I won't be speculating. But still be fresh for me to watch at least.
And I am again. Yeah, I'm kind of a Survivor noob. I knew about it growing up. I didn't watch like more than maybe like 5-10 minutes of an episode ever. So this is all pretty new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of like some characters, but they've basically everyone that I am aware of is already we've already gone through. Boston Rob is like one of the only people that I knew of.
Yeah.
We've already done his season, so like it's all totally new to me from here on out. I mean that was new to me too. I didn't even know what he did
Yeah.
in that season. So
So it's fun because we get to see it evolve and stuff.
mm,
You know, I know where the show's at now, and it's there's so much there to
so
enjoy.
much. Yeah.
And discuss every episode. We can also watch our highlights of our reactions for each episode. You can go back. There's a playlist on our channel for all the Survivor videos we've done since the first season. It's great. All right. Previously on Survivor Pearl Islands, Burton was voted out.
In a shocking kind of a surprise twist because yeah, because we totally thought that Krista.
Krista.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be Krista.
It was
And
well.
John.
He incited. He wanted. He talked to Rupert. Burton talked to Rupert, and he
Right.
was like, "This is treachery." He was talking about how he wanted to throw a challenge potentially to vote out one of the weaker women,
Mm-hmm.
and instead they went and threw the challenge and voted out Burton. So
Yeah. So the whole key was to get rid of Burton instead. It's very interesting because he was super close with Ryan, right?
he was really close with
Not Ryan.
Sean.
No. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, I
But
don't know.
Sean did
I was
vote him
thinking
out.
Ryan. No, the two Ryans were on the other thing. Hmm.
Sean
Yeah.
did end up voting him out, though.
Yeah, Sean was one of the people that was voting for him. So I'm curious. They'll have to go into the discussion in this
Mm-hmm.
episode. So I'm very interested in seeing what the idea was behind that. So
Other than that, there's a lot of great stuff, but it is worth noting that they showed John scheming hard. That was a big part, and then they ultimately ended up kidnapping Rupert from his own tribe at the end there. So
yeah,
we'll see the payoff of that, where he's over in the other tribe now
that's right.
for one, up until the reward challenge only. They said so.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to watch the episode with us, you can see the highlights of a reaction if you click the link in the description and come back for the discussion, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
What purpose does it serve him? He doesn't like him. If we're to take the theory that you said that he doesn't like the strategy element of the game, why would he have voted for Michelle, who he was like kind of like buddying with there? He would have voted with her
It
with
wasn't really,
her.
though. He was just like,
He was, but he's like, no, we gotta get Sean out of
he
here.
said he heard, I heard her out enough where I'll tell the group. about maybe not, or maybe going after Sean, and then we never saw what he did with it. So he might have just told them, and they're like, no, and then he's like, okay, I'll vote Michelle then. Just like last time where he said he was against throwing the challenge, but he couldn't convince people, so it's like, alright, I won't participate in it. I think he just doesn't want to do extra stuff like deceptive or super.
Well, he's a troubled teens mentor. He doesn't want to deceive people.
He just wants
I
to
don't know. I'll
like
have to see
straight
how
and
the
narrow,
game-
like the weakest on the tribe, that kind of thing. Kind of like Andrew, like whoever's weakest for the tribe, whatever the tribe wants. Because he'll present, he might present the idea maybe keep Michelle, and then everybody says no. And he's like, okay,
Which is so it is kind of bizarre because like he's totally playing up the fact that he loves the fact this is about pirates
mm-hmm.
and stuff and like the survival stuff. But then at the same time, he's like he's not wanting to actually play pirate, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't like the politicking of pirates. I guess
Yeah.
he likes the looting.
I mean,
But
he's
then
gonna have to adapt if he wants to survive in this game.
yeah, like,
So
providing will only get you so far, you know.
yeah. So to recap, Michelle, we ended up getting voted out. She did not go with the plan.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is satisfying in that like she didn't really add much to the show to begin with,
Yeah.
and it was like, yeah, why didn't you do the freaking one little thing you were supposed to do, which was
Yeah.
play up the fact that you're not gonna be good with this, and
Yeah,
she
it
just
was
chugged the whole thing.
It was so bizarre. I have no idea why she did that.
That's pretty crucial because she was literally the best out of everyone. So if she played it up, then she would have definitely won that last round. Because Sandra was struggling.
It's so weird. Yeah.
But it's like, okay, you're gonna face the consequences.
Yeah.
Well, why are you having an ego when you're the one on the outs? You can't be having an ego and a
Yeah.
chugging.
Yeah. Like
competition.
that. It basically made no sense. I mean, she was kind of like on the she had the most to lose here anyways. She was totally on the outs. She would have been with Burton, and Sean was like, no, I'm gonna play the game. I'm not gonna stick with Burton. That's what everyone expects me to do, but I'm actually gonna start strategizing already.
Well, it really came down to John just telling him on the way that
yeah, did it come down to that? Was it really that simple?
Apparently, John said that
I mean, that's what that is. Well,
he
it could have
didn't
been.
know until the last second. So Sean can act like it was like, ooh, I made a big move
big
to
play,
go
but
this way, but really was just the last.
It was
second.
really, yeah, it really does seem to be more John kind of moving his chess pieces around. So, in a complete twist, I'm actually very impressed with the way John is playing this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
He's
bad.
yeah, no, I think he's I like Rupert as a person. I think he's just a really kind individual. He's probably my favorite favorite of the group. But John with his fierce strategizing, like even though I was like, oh come on, he's almost pulling what was his name with in freaking Thailand.
Brian.
Yeah, used car salesman.
You think
I am Ryan. I know human emotions.
You think he's playing a Brian by?
No, I thought he was. I thought he was playing a Ryan where he's like, yes, I understand.
But
I have everyone in my control.
Well, he's like the opposite of that though, where he was like over the top, goofy.
No. My point isn't in how he's acting. My point is that like in the confidence factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like a confidence factor. I thought he was like, he's just.
I am the puppet.
He's
master.
like that. I am the puppet master. Where it's like there was absolutely no way that Ryan should have been a puppet master. But I was kind of under the impression that John was Brian. Yeah, Brian is who it was. Yeah, Brian, the puppet master man.
He was the puppet master though, kind of. So.
I mean, there shouldn't have been any reason why he was. Like they came to the end and it was they were like
that.
There was multiple times where they could have gotten rid of him and they didn't.
Yeah.
But no, this one it does seem to be. He seems to be actually doing a pretty good job at doing that. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he's playing an interesting game.
Yeah.
Because he's playing up his goofball stuff. So, but yeah, at the beginning of the episode they explained that's right that he went with John. He took John's advice and went against Burton.
Yeah.
So
And then we saw Rupert over with the Morgan tribe.
they were kind of pathetic, and he was basically doing everything for them.
Yep. And in the short time he was there, he helped them with all that stuff, and then helped them win that immunity or reward challenge. And then
Yep.
didn't even participate in the reward.
Hmm.
And then,
And then when Morgan came over to be like, "Hey, we're stealing stuff," and he's like, "Look, this is what you should steal, because you guys." It was almost like, because you guys are pathetic.
yeah,
You really need to have more food.
it felt
So
like kind of like the immunity challenge should have been the reward challenge, and it should have been flipped because like I feel like the drinking thing, those kinds of challenges where it comes down to a one-on-one,
yeah,
feels like it
no,
should be a reward.
I was actually thinking of that while it was going on. I actually agree with you. Um, yeah, a lot of those, like, that did feel more reward challenge than like ultimate final challenge sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to flip the script a little bit, or like shake it up. Make things a little bit more different or
Puts more
chancy.
pressure on a specific person, I guess. In the end, it's like
It's true,
you carry the
but you
weight.
think of it's true, but you think about the there is a little bit of strategy that goes into a challenge like that. It's a different kind of strategy, because it's that's more about fortitude, your own constitution fortitude, rather than like your strength.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many survivor challenges are all about your strength and how like quick you are and how strong you are, but like some of it is like how strong your stomach
It's a
is
different
very
different
very
skill set.
different skill set for sure. So I kind of like that. The idea of that being an immunity challenge was, it's compelling, I guess. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I kind of tend to agree with you, but
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Michelle, presumably, if she didn't um, even bring up the idea that she would be a decoy, she would presumably still be the default option. Like, even if it was Sandra losing, I don't think they would just vote her out for that reason. I think it would still
Hmm.
probably default on Michelle for being the one in the outs anyway. So
Right.
it really was like you had the right idea with the decoy thing, and if she did that, that could have saved her by
Yeah,
actually winning the challenge.
because they would have begun Michelle, and then she just friggin' downed it like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a good idea. She just didn't put it in action, and you directly face the consequences immediately for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because they would have had a chance of winning immunity there. That's the thing. So
and that's about all went into it too. Like, all you have after that point is you have one little conversation with Rupert. That's her like one plea.
yeah,
She's throwing
and
up
she
over
didn't.
a log, and
Yeah,
and he's
and
like,
he's sprinkling sand, and we've got like emotional music playing in the background. It was one of the oddest exchanges this
yeah,
season for sure. It was more just because of, it was like, and then he's just like, yeah, just, and
and
he's talking in the calm way that he kind of talks to people, and he's like throwing sand, and there's this emotional music playing. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
this is weird.
And he said he's
Uh,
convinced enough to tell the other tribe mates
yeah,
that maybe we should go after Sean instead. But he clearly wasn't that gung ho about it, where he
yeah,
was going to push that agenda. Um, so it ended up being
yeah. He
Michelle
doesn't want
anyway.
to. He could have tried to play pirate a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
If they were got being able to get a quorum of them together to be like, let's get Sean out, then. But yeah, I
I
guess
re-
they all want to play with Sean still. I think Sean is still he's obviously no Rupert, but they probably see him as like a somewhat vital member for challenges,
mm-hmm.
maybe.
Maybe.
Hmm.
So I mean, I think Rupert's just an interesting uh, instance. Like, from what we've seen so far, I think he's a good example of how there's that type of player who's just there for the survival aspect. And
Yeah.
we've seen this in really varying rates of success, like even down to like the first season, BB, who was the old guy who just came in who wanted to bark orders and get stuff done, didn't care about anything else in the game, and then you give it out for that.
Hmm.
But Rupert is just there to provide, and the survival, like just being in the elements. It feels like
Yeah.
he's just comfortable there, and he
He's
doesn't
a
really want much to do with strategic stuff.
Yeah. He's a gentle soul, but yeah, it's
But you
interesting that he
get
kind of.
so many different perspectives. Like if you look
Hmm.
at Rob, Sister Nino from Amazon, he
Hmm.
was pretty much all strategy.
Hmm.
and very little survival elements.
Mhm.
You know, it's like he was just to play the game as if it's like a chess game,
Right.
and you know, so you have the whole spectrum is there, and it's interesting. That's why it's not exactly a chess game, because they're all different people with very different ways of how they consider the game and how they'll play. So there's emotions involved.
Well, that's
So,
the thing though. It's the difference between strategy and tactics.
so I mean, there wasn't that much this episode, but
No, but not much in terms of like deep like scheming or huge plays or whatever. But it was more like deepening the understanding of like what everyone is kind of what stake everyone has in the game, I guess.
we're getting everything in motion. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the fluff. We're cutting out the fluff. Get the Michelles
yeah.
out of here.
You get the
Get,
Michelles out.
get the Lils out of here. You know?
Yeah. Next up is Dara.
Dara is the
Yeah.
next stuff on the chopping block.
I love that
Sean can go to.
John freaking flirting with Dara was like the funniest thing.
Yeah,
He's shooting his shot, getting completely smoked.
but he just comes off as so sleazy just naturally.
Oh, well, because he is. Yeah,
He-
absolutely
There's
is.
like one episode before where he's like drunk laughing. He's like, "Where are the teenage girls at?" Ha 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 ha.
I don't remember that. That's a little creepy. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah,
And,
no,
like,
fuck with it.
he's like in frat mode at all times or something. But then at the same time, he's trying to be the puppet master. So it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how, because he does have like emotional moments. Obviously, we've seen
Yeah, the
before he
big
gets
outburst
mad.
or whatever.
And now
Yeah.
another preview where he's mad at somebody.
Where he's getting mad again. Yeah, I don't know. That's if he keeps doing that, doesn't bode very well for him. That's like that's a Boston Rob scenario, where he's like he's trying to
Yeah.
because Rob tried to stir things up a little bit, but he played a little too into it and then didn't have a good enough like actual response when he set things in motion.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of interesting players in this game. So
That's why
it'll be good to
he's
see.
not full on game bot like
Yeah.
like Brian.
Like Brian,
like
who
this
was
is-
meticulous.
This is just a business
I
trip.
am. Yeah, this is a business transaction. Me on this trip.
He called it as a business trip, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm the Iceman, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
And
He was just. I know human emotions.
but Johnny,
I can emulate them.
Johnny will just have some outbursts. He'll be
Johnny
wacky and
Fairplay.
getting drunk, but
Johnny
also will be playing it like a chess game. So it's interesting. You didn't really get
Well,
that
maybe that's.
yet.
I think maybe part of that. I mean, maybe part of him playing it up is part of his tactical play. Where he's like, I'll do this from day to day, but in the background, I'm still gonna be.
But you
I'm
can
still
tell
gonna
he's
be
like
scheming.
genuinely mad at Sandra.
No,
And-
I mean that's true. Yeah,
and like
he does.
in his confessionals, he's still wacky and like I'm Johnny Fairplay. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's his. True
Well, yeah.
personality.
Again, some of that you do also still have to consider that some of it is played up a little bit.
Mhm.
Some people may be going into the game with a little bit more of a persona than
Right.
just to play it up for the game, and that is part of their
Well, he's
overall
playing up.
strategy.
He can play it for the game, and he can play it up for TV also.
yeah. Well,
He's
yeah,
definitely,
exactly.
he's definitely trying to entertain. You can tell
Yeah.
he really wants the camera.
Where's the
time.
teenagers at? Stay
So-
away from my kids. So
that's about it, right?
yeah, that's about it. So
All right, we'll see. I mean, should get more and more interesting as we go on.
for sure.
All right,
Sure.
so check back next week where we'll have another
Yeah.
episode. We'll keep
We
it
will.
going. We got to be getting to Emerge soon, right?
It's coming up quick, I think. Yeah, within the next couple of episodes for sure.
We've had 5
So,
people voted out. I think it's usually around 6 or
around
7-ish,
6.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So
So that'll be fun.
all right, Zach. What should our fine viewers go see if they enjoyed this video?
That's a good question. Survivor is always a wild card where we can send them. We want to send them to another Survivor video or just something random. What's something Johnny Fairplay-esque? Is there something like that we've watched?
Yeah, maybe extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
Not again.
Always.
No, he's charismatic, but he's not like, oh.
Yeah, he's not like.
What about go watch a review of The Devil's Advocate?
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's like the devil.
Go see me give it way too high of a score.
Way too high.
Yeah, it was way too high.
I told you. I told you so.
Yeah, I know. Regrets. Instant regrets. All right.
All right. Take care. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell.
Do all those things.
Subscribe to our podcast feed. Follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO.
Yeah.